Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. You know, it is great to be with you on Inspirations for Your Life. Today, in case you're wondering, well, it's Monday, and that means that we've got a brand new, well, we've got a brand new week. But our master topic, actually starts off on Saturdays, as you probably know, and it goes through to Friday. So I just want to thank everyone for popping in. We put some amazing content out every single day here on Inspirations for Your Life. And if you are coming here for the first time, I want to take this opportunity to personally welcome and thank you. If you're coming back, well, I want to say thank you for coming back. I always love friends and colleagues that come back and enjoy this amazing content that we have to offer. So really appreciate you for being here and deciding to be part of this amazingly great content that we have here on Inspirations for Your Life. All right, guys. So if you didn't know already, the master topic for this week, which kicked off, well, just the other day it kicked off, and that's trust the process and ditch the force. Well, today's granular topic is a really good one. Small steps win over forced leaps. We are on, yes, series 4, show 28, episode number 3. If you're parched or maybe you're hungry, go to the kitchen, get yourself something, get comfortable, and come on back, and we'll kick this show off. All right, everyone, and don't forget to check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, which you can do right after the show, and of course, 24 hours a day. All right, guys, it is so great to be with everyone here. I hope everyone had a relaxing, healthy, and enjoyable 4th of July long holiday weekend. I really do hope that you had a great one. Like I said, there's so many great things that went on this weekend, and I know when we think about these things, a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that 4th of July is over." Yeah, unfortunately, it is over. So, welcome everyone to another uplifting episode of the Ever Empowering Inspirations for Your Life podcast. I am John C. Morley, a serial entrepreneur, podcast coach, host, video producer, engineer, and of course, a passionate lifelong learner that loves to inspire and to get you to learn as well. As I read this to you, I invite you to reflect with me on something we often overlook, and that's true power of small steps. In a world obsessed with fast results and giant leaps, it's easy to forget that steady, intentional progress, well, it wins the race. Today, I'll uncover why small steps beat forced leaps every time, and how you achieve more with less stress and greater fulfillment. So let's dive in, everyone. All right. Number 1, small steps build lasting progress. Throughout my career, I've noticed that when I take small intentional steps toward my goals, the progress I make is solid and sustainable. It's like laying bricks one at a time. Each one adds strength and stability. This slow and steady approach helps create a foundation that can handle challenges and setbacks. When you choose small steps, you're not just moving forward, you're building something that really lasts. So why not do that? Number 2, forced leaps often crumble fast. I've seen and I've experienced what happens when you try to force massive leaps without some preparation. It's like trying to jump across a canyon without checking if you're ready, if you have the right equipment. Forced leaps can create impressive short-term results to many, but because they're built on shaky ground, they often fall apart under pressure. Lasting success comes from thoughtful planning and small, steady actions, not rushed. Risky leaps is not what we want. Number 3, guys, small steps create steady momentum. One of the greatest benefits of small steps is how they naturally create momentum. Every small win builds your confidence and motivates you to keep going. I found that when I focus on what I can do today, even if it seems minor, it sets off a chain reaction of positive actions. Momentum from small steps is powerful because it grows over time and helps you stay consistent. Number 4, forced leaps spark burnout. They certainly do. I've learned the hard way that trying to force big leaps can lead, well, and also leave you drained and disillusioned. When you push too hard, too fast, you exhaust, you burn out your energy, and often lose sight of your original purpose. And you take the fun out of everything. Burnout creeps in because you're spending so much effort just trying to keep up. Small steps, on the other hand, let you pace yourself and preserve your passion for the long haul. So why not take small steps? Why not enjoy the long journey and not try to complete it in one day? Number 5, small steps strengthen confidence. Each small step is like a promise kept to yourself. I felt the boost that comes from knowing I'm moving in the right direction. No matter how slowly, small achievements add up and remind you that you can do hard things. The more you honor these small steps, the stronger your self belief becomes. And that confidence is the fuel to take us to even bigger goals over time. Number 4, forced leaps invite mistakes. Yes, they do. When you leap without preparation, it's easy to trip. I've made mistakes by rushing decisions or trying to skip steps, only to find myself cleaning up the mess later. Forced leaps leave little room for learning or adjustment, and that can lead to costly errors. Small steps give you the chance to learn, refine, and grow along the way. Number 7, small steps encourage learning. What I love about small steps is that they give you time and space to learn. Every small, consistent step or move forward brings lessons that you can apply to the next step. I've grown the most, not during giant leaps, but in those quiet moments when I paused, reflected, and adjusted my approach. Small steps turn your journey into a classroom where you can continuously improve. So why not live a life of continuous improvement? Number 8, force leaps ignore the process. When you force a leap, you often skip the valuable part of the journey. I found that when I tried to shortcut my way to success, I missed out on important growth moments. Force leaps focus only on the end result and overlook the process that actually builds skills and character. Small steps honor the journey and help you grow along the way. So let's enjoy the small steps. Let's enjoy the journey. Let's enjoy the process. And let's learn from ourselves and others. Small steps unite effort and our core purposes. There's something deeply satisfying about aligning your daily efforts with your bigger purpose in life. Small steps help you stay connected to why you're doing what you're doing. I felt this alignment when I've broken big goals into daily actions that reflect my values. It keeps your work meaningful and your energy focused, turning effort into purposeful driven activities and, of course, amazing progress. Number 10, force leaps, chase quick results. I've seen how tempting it is to go for the fastest possible outcome, but force leaps are often about chasing speed rather than building substance or something of quality. When we rush for quick results, we risk creating something fragile and short-lived, and we're bound to make a lot of mistakes. Small steps through slower lead to results that last because they're built thoughtfully with care and intention. I think sometimes people fall behind and people say, oh my gosh, the only way I'm going to catch up is if I speed up. But somebody once told me, John, if you slow down, you'll move faster. I didn't quite understand that, but now I do. It means that if you slow down and you really focus on what you're doing, you're less likely to make mistakes, and then you won't have to do them again and again and again. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the part of the program that I really love. I mean, I love the whole program, and here's one of my most favorite parts of the program. I'm going to give you basically a personal story or lesson uh, for each point today. And I'm hoping that it will solidify what I'm talking about. And then it'll get you to want to take that step to, let's say, start that journey in your life. Maybe you're saying, John, that's very difficult, but I'm here to tell you that you can do it. The first thing you have to remember is that belief might be what is holding you back. It holds a lot of people back. So understanding what belief is, understanding our core values, understanding that speed is not your friend. Okay. What happens when you speed on the highway? Well, you go over the speed limit, and that's not a good thing, right? Speed can cause danger in some situations. Speed can cause mistakes. Speed can cause loss of money because resources are, let's say, used and wasted. Speed can also get us to become complacent with ourselves and others. And nobody likes that, but when you fall behind, people say, oh, you know what? The only way to catch up is I better hurry up. And every time somebody tells me, John, I'm going to hurry up, you know what happens? Well, they wind up doing worse than if they would have taken their time. Now, it might seem like you're going to get less work done because of the numbers and counting things. But if you think about all the mistakes you're going to be making by going fast, I think it actually makes sense to go slow, right? There was a song, I think, many years ago. It was like, slow down, you're moving too fast. You got to make the morning last. Kicking back on the cobblestones. What was it? Feeling alone or something, and feeling groovy. So, according to the song, but it really is truthful that we have to understand what this means to us. If we don't, and we just take these steps and we try to just, get them done as quickly as possible, we're going to become very, very frustrated with ourselves. Why? Because nothing's going to get done the way you want it to get done. That's a problem. Small steps build lasting progress. When I first started my entrepreneurial journey, I had big dreams. I still do. But I quickly realized that chasing them all at once was overwhelming. So instead, I focused on small, manageable tasks each day. For example, rather than trying to build an entire business in a month, I dedicated time daily to learning, networking, and creating. Each small action that I focused on, like writing one blog post or making one new connection, slowly add up. Over time, I looked back and saw, well, I had built a strong, reliable foundation that supported future growth. This approach alone taught me that real progress isn't flashy. It's quiet, it's steady, and intentional. Just like a brick wall built one brick at a time can withstand storms, the small steps I took create a structure that could handle any set of challenges, market shifts, and even setbacks. The satisfaction I feel daily from knowing that I've built something that will last is far greater than any thrill that comes from a rushed set of achievements. Number two, forced leaps often crumble fast. I never forgot a business project early in my career where I tried to skip steps. I rushed into a major expansion, investing heavily without securing the necessary team or an infrastructure. At first, it looked impressive. The rapid growth and the bold moves drew attention, but cracks started to show quickly. Because I hadn't laid the proper groundwork, I found myself struggling to keep up, fixing problems that shouldn't have even ever existed, and ultimately scaling back. That experience taught me a tough but valuable lesson. What looks like success on the surface can hide instability underneath. Forced leaps create flashy results, but they often can endure real world pressures. From that point forward, I committed to moving at a pace that allowed me to build with care, integrity, so my work would stand strong when challenges inevitably arose. Number three, small steps create steady momentum. There was a time when I was feeling stuck, as if my dreams and goals were too far away to reach. Instead of trying to overhaul everything overnight, I chose one small action I could take that day. Just one. That first action, as simple as it was, made me feel accomplished. The next day, I added another small step. Before long, I noticed a rhythm forming. I was no longer stuck. I was moving forward. I do this every day, guys. I write out my agenda of what I want to get done, and I cross off the items. Doing the IFYL show is one of the things on the agenda, and I feel really great when I get it done. Momentum from small steps feels like gentle pushes to keep you going, even on hard days. Each minor success fuels your motivation, and soon these little efforts compound into something really big. I found that consistency beats intensity because it keeps you in motion, and motion leads to real change. I want to compare this to balancing on a balance beam, right? If you take small, steady steps while keeping your arms out, you're much less likely to fall in the beginning. If you try to get on the balance beam and try to show that you're a hero, well, you might do great for maybe 20 seconds, and then bam, you're going to just crash and fall down, hopefully onto a mat. So as you develop inner strength to be able to balance, you can do a lot more. As we build that structure, which seems invisible, and it becomes very sturdy, there's a lot that can support it and help us as we grow. Number 4, forced leaps spark burnout. I once took on too much at once, believing that pushing harder would get me to my goals faster. I overcommitted, working late nights, skipping breaks, and saying yes to everything. At first, I felt unstoppable, like I was conquering the world, but soon exhaustion started to set in. My passion started fading, and I found myself dreading the very thing I loved. Burnt out crept in because I wasn't respecting my limits or pacing myself. I learned that sustainable success requires balance. Small steps honor your well-being and your goals. They give you space to rest, reflect, and stay energized so you can keep showing up with passion and purpose for the long haul, right? Number 3, small steps will strengthen your confidence every day. I remember a time when I doubted whether I could take on a big speaking engagement. Instead of focusing on the enormity of the task, I broke it down to small parts, writing a single section, practicing a few lines, rehearsing in front of some friends. Each small win reassured me that I was capable. The more I honored these little victories, the stronger my confidence became. Those small steps helped me to face the stage without any fear, but with pride. And after the talk, I realized that the journey built on those tiny, consistent actions had transformed how I saw myself. You see, speaking is one thing, but when you're speaking on a new topic or to a new group, you might have to, well, plan a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. So just knowing that will really transform yourself as it did me. Confidence isn't built in leaps, guys. It's built one step at a time through promises kept and challenges met. So why are we trying to impress others? We don't need to. We need to impress ourselves. The only way we're going to do that is to take consistent action that we can be proud of, even if it's small each time. Number 6, forced leaps invite mistakes. I've made my share of mistakes, and I'm sure you guys have too, from rushing. One project that comes to mind was when I launched a new service without adequate testing. I wanted to beat competitors to get this to market right away, so I skipped some key steps. The result, glitches, unhappy clients, and a lot of damage control that could have been avoided. I learned that hurrying often makes, well, overlooking details that matter key. Since then, I've embraced small steps because they allow time for careful checks and thoughtful decisions. Small steps give you room to catch mistakes, early adjust, and improve. Forced leaps, on the other hand, often blind you with what's right in front of you until it's too late. So small steps encourage learning, and I think that's a very, very important thing to understand, is that small steps are very, very key. And I will tell you guys, this is very important to realize um, what's going on. I know a lot of you want to do this right away, but it's important to take your time. And this can be hard for some people. I think when we start to realize this, it means something to everyone. So small steps give you room to catch mistakes early, adjust, and improve. Forced leaps, on the other hand, often blind you with what's right in front of you until it's too late. Number 7, small steps encourage learning. When I reflect on the times I've grown the most, it's always during periods where I move thoughtfully, step by step. For example, when learning new technologies, I didn't try to master everything at once. I focused on one concept at a time and practicing and reflecting as I went. Those small steps, well, they gave me space to absorb knowledge deeply rather than just skimming the surface. Each small step became a lesson that enriched the next. I came to see my journey as, well, ongoing, a classroom where every action taught me something valuable. The beauty of small steps is that they let you learn as you go, turning your progress into a series of meaningful discoveries. Number 8, forced leaps ignore the process. There was a phase where I became so fixated on the goal, the end goal that is, I tried to skip ahead. I thought if I could just reach the destination faster, I'd feel fulfilled. But in doing so, I bypassed the very experiences that would have prepared me for the success I needed. When challenges came, I realized I didn't have the tools or resilience I would have gained by honoring the process. Small steps have taught me to value the journey itself. Every step brings growth, insight, and skill that prepare you for what's ahead. Forced leaps may promise quick success, but they rob you of that chance to develop the true wisdom and character and integrity that truly matter to us and to everyone else that we come in contact with. Number 9, small steps unite effort and purpose. Some of my most meaningful accomplishments came from breaking large goals into small purposeful actions. For instance, when creating a community event, I aligned every task from emails to venue visits with the event's core mission. Each small step felt purposeful because it was tied to a bigger why. That alignment made the work more joyful and fulfilling. Small steps let you connect what you do today with the impact you want to make tomorrow. See, they help you stay true to your values and focused on your purpose. In my experience, this alignment between effort and purpose keeps you motivated, even when the work gets hard. Remember, I said the challenge is where the good stuff is, right? We don't grow when we're comfortable. We grow when we're uncomfortable. So we have to practice getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Number 10, forced leaps chase quick results. I've fallen into the trap of chasing those fast results, believing that quicker is better, that I would achieve something that would be so amazing if I did it faster. But quick wins often become disappointing. They're hollow. One example was a marketing campaign I rushed to launch many years ago. It got immediate attention, but because I hadn't built it in thoughtfully the right way, it fizzled out as fast as it started. The initial excitement couldn't compensate for the lack of depth, which I should have taken. Small steps through slower actions have always led to results that endure, and that's important. They force you to think, plan, and build with care. And in the end, those lasting outcomes are far more rewarding than any fleeting success achieved through forced leaps. So, in conclusion, I want to let you guys know something that's very, very important. Many of you are going to see others out there, and they're going to be at a different place in life than you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you shouldn't compare yourself to try to get where they are, because they're at a different part in their journey, just like you're at a different part in your journey. And they may have already learned those success skills, where you, on the other hand, might not. And so if you get that opportunity and you don't have those skills developed clearly with a lot of practice, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get frustrated. You're then going to feel that you can't do it. And so the small steps, those small mini goals that you have to get first, If you get those accomplished, they're small, right? Your first one could be something as simple as, I don't know, I was working on a book and I just wrote the outline. That could be your very first goal or your first achievement. Another one, maybe it's a relationship. Well, maybe the fact that you just decided to go out. Maybe you didn't meet anybody, but you at least went out somewhere. You left your house. Maybe you're trying to get back into your educational realm. And maybe you didn't start class yet, but what you did do is you started researching the steps you needed to get into class. So I think these are very important things. And as we're traversing through this week, it is my hope that you will see that force is more of a problem. I know a lot of you say to me, John, yeah, but force is so powerful. Look at Darth Vader and all these other great movies, right? And they have force. Well, there is power in force, right? They always say in Star Wars, may the force be with you. Well, that's true. But not only the force be with you, but the amount of force, right? I'm going to give you a perfect example. We have this RO system, and I had gotten my parents one. And one of the local plumbers had come by to try to help them, but was not knowledgeable with RO systems. Well, he took the knob and he turned it just a little bit too hard. And what did he do? He cracked the cylinder so new filters could not be inserted in there. And I think this is a problem for a lot of people. They believe that if you just do something quick, we can always fix it, right? We can always fix it. But why should we have to fix something? Why can't we take the time to actually do something right, right? Whether that's picking the right color, whether it's signing your name, whether it's throwing out the trash. Maybe you threw out the wrong stuff, right? Maybe you threw out something that actually was valuable. Or, maybe whatever you did wasn't going to be the greatest thing because you really didn't put one and one together. You just knew that this is probably what you're going to do. You've seen other people do it, but it might not have been good in your situation. This happens a lot in chemistry and in science. People decide to do something today because they think that's how it's done, but they haven't necessarily understood the chemicals in the process or the different components that are part of the experiment. And I think this is what frustrates most people. They try like heck to get something done. They haven't done any pre-planning, right? So no planning equals failure, right? Failing to plan is planning to fail. And I know that sounds crazy, but I want to encourage all of you out there that you can have the wins. Don't be in such a hurry. Take the small steps. Enjoy the small wins. Don't force things. Let life flow. And I guarantee you, it'll be much better and more successful for you. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And I'll catch you guys when? Well, tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Be well.